And I'm just going to wait just a few seconds just to make sure everyone is on and can view. So I'm going to wait a few moments. Okay, so welcome and thank you. My name is Craig O'Sullivan and I'm responsible for customer support here at RX Mobility. This is our second webinar with PCCA and I'm delighted to invite you guys here for this training. So before I get started, there are a number of new customers and some members on the call. So I will start by giving you a very short, kind of quick overview about RX Mobility. So here's a quick 30-second video introducing RX Mobility.
Prescription drug non-adherence is not caused by cost concerns or side effects, but by simple behavioral issues, such as forgetfulness or procrastination. RX Mobility can help. With RX Mobility, you can communicate directly with patients using a dedicated pharmacy-branded app. You can send reminders, push messages, and simply refill orders. We even send weekly reports to show effectiveness. The complete solution is HIPAA compliant. What does this mean for you? Healthier patients and a better bottom line for your pharmacy. Contact us today.
Okay, so moving on from this, I will now show you how the patient downloads and sets themselves up on RX Mobility. Okay, so we're just going to click on this. This is just a test app to show you guys. So firstly, when the patient goes ahead and downloads the app, there's a number of ways they can do so. So we can give you a link for your patients for either Google Play or Apple App Store. And for patients using Apple devices, Apple also has this neat kind of way that they can download it. So they can enter in keywords. So for example, the patient can enter in your pharmacy's name, plus some keywords such like medication, PCCA, drug, compliance, refill, RX, prescription, script, compound, pharmacy, and community. Now to set this up on the device, the patient will be prompted to enter in and create a PIN. So we're just going to choose a quick PIN here. We can confirm it here. Okay. And here the patient then enters in their details. So I'm going to choose a name. We're going to say her name is Linda. Linda Murphy. We'll enter in Linda's date of birth. We'll say December 8th. We'll make Linda an 80s baby. Linda can then enter in her address. So we're just going to say Main Street in Houston, Texas. Linda can then enter in her telephone number. Then Linda enters in her primary caregiver or provider. So in this instance, we're going to enter in Dr. Martin. Now, Linda 7. Now, before I do anything else here, I'm going to show you how the patient can view the app, and I'm going to describe a few of the features. So, at the top here, we see refill prescriptions. This is the main kind of button here that a patient would be using. So, click on this. Patient enters in their 4-digit PIN. The patient can go ahead and place an order from here. This is how they place an order, this is how they view orders that they've already placed, and so on. This is the dose reminder button. It's also quite big and large as it's used quite a lot. The patient goes in here, enters in their 4-digit PIN, again, excuse me. And again, they can go ahead and set up when they want to be reminded to take their medication. Now I'm going to be showing you guys this in a lot more detail as we go on. Here, these gear buttons at the side here. It's like settings. The patient can change their PIN. They can add and remove patients from here, and they can also opt in and out of receiving marketing messages. Again, I will be going through this in a little bit more detail as we go along. Here you see the news feed. So the news feed is the last 3 messages that have been sent or that have been associated with either anything to do with marketing from the pharmacy, or indeed anything to do with anything that they've sent in regarding their refill. The contact us button, kind of self-explanatory. It kind of basically tells you the pharmacy's opening hours, their telephone number, their email, their website, and the location. You can also call, the patient can call the pharmacy through this, email through this, and also open up the website through this, which is quite neat. The newsfeed, again, this is everything that is sent out from the pharmacy, any marketing or promotional messages, and also any messages that have been sent from the pharmacy to the patient regarding their order or refill. So moving on from this, now that the patient is set up, they're going to go ahead and send in their first order. So I'm going to show you how they do that. So the patient clicks on refill prescription. They enter in the PIN that they've already chosen. We're going to send in a new order. So they click on the top left-hand corner of the screen, and we're going to click on Linda Murphy. So as you can see, Linda's name and address is already populated here. So we're going to add in a medication name. So just for this example, we're going to add in Versabase. Okay, so now that's been added in. We're going ahead. Now, obviously, as it's a new order, there's no RX number required. Refill frequency. So we're going to put in 28 days just for this, just so to give you guys an example. And as well as that, Linda can take a picture of the image if she would like. So basically, I'm going to take a picture of this just to show you guys how quick it is. Okay, so that's automatically sent in. Now here you can see delivery method. So this is basically if you have a delivery aspect to your pharmacy, there's a number of drop downs here that the patient can choose from. So in this instance, I'm going to choose pick up in store. Payment method, again, this really depends on what you guys cater for. So I'm going to pick here, use credit card on file. And here as well we have insurance company. So if there's an if you guys accept insurance, or anything like that, there's a few drop-down menus here that you can choose from. Again, pharmacy name, trade only. That is really dependent on whether you cater for that or not. And we're going to add a note here. So I'm going to add in a note here. So maybe Linda wants to be made aware when the order has been received. So please contact me when order is received. Okay, so we're going to send that directly in. So as you can see here, the reminder has been scheduled for 28 days after this order has been requested. So Linda will be reminded on April 5th, 2016 about refilling her order. Okay, now moving on from this, I'm going to show you guys how Linda can set up a dose reminder to remind herself to actually take her medication. So again, we go in, we enter in the 4-digit PIN that Linda would have set up when she created the app. Again, so here we go, top left corner of the screen again, the medication name. So we're going to use Versabase because that's the medication that we sent in. Quantity. Now again, this is just an example, so we're going to say 1. So here, frequency, I'm going to start off with daily. So Linda can choose a time that she wants to take it. So maybe Linda needs to take it in the morning when she wakes up. So we're going to say 8 a.m. And it's actually quite easy to do so. And then we're going to select the time here. For maybe that evening she needs to take it again, so we're going to say 7 p.m. Okay, you can schedule the reminder. Maybe it's weekly. So maybe Linda wants to take it on a Monday, and maybe she needs to take it again on a Thursday. You can set up the time here. Reoccurring again, maybe Linda needs to take it twice a day, every 2 hours, starting from, and so on. So that's the dose reminders. Now, Linda can also pick a specific date as well. Maybe she only needs to take it once a week, or maybe she only needs to take it that one time. Again, she can choose the date and the time from here and set that up for herself, and she will be reminded on that date and time to take her medication. So, I'm now going to move on and show you guys what RX Mobility looks like to you within the pharmacy. So this is the pharmacy management portal. This is where the refills and new orders come directly into you guys. And it's from here that you can manually push, acknowledge the order receipt and indicate a time frame in which the order will be ready. So I'm just going to log into this now so you guys can see, and I'm going to bring you through it in a little bit more detail. Basically how you would process the order as regards communicating with the patient regarding it, how you're going to mark it complete and reject the message if need be. So I'm just going to type in my verification code here. Now this is sent directly to you guys once you log in to your device, and it's always a 6-digit code. Okay. So now we're in the back end. This is the pharmacy management portal. So Linda today had just sent in this order. So we're going to go in and view the order, guys. So as you can see, Linda's name is here, her date of birth, her address. The medication is VersaBase. The next refill, the 5th of April 2016. Collection method, pick up in store. Payment method, use credit card on file. The delivery address, although she will be collecting it. Now, this is where you communicate with Linda regarding this. So Linda has asked, please contact me when order is received. So you can send out a message directly to Linda. And just to make it aware, there is internal note which I will be speaking about with you guys shortly, but you need to send this message directly to the patient. So you choose that, then you say order received, and send that directly out. Okay? So basically, this is the order that Linda has sent in. This is how you monitor it. Basically, once the order has been completed, you mark it complete. Don't mark the order complete until it's actually completed, as this will send out a notification to Linda to let her know that her compound is ready for collection. You can also mark it rejected. Before you mark it rejected, you can let the patient know why you're rejecting it through the push message. Alternatively, if you want to communicate with the patient, maybe there's been a problem with their payment. There could be a number of reasons. Maybe they need to correct something about their actual order. You can go ahead and send a message for them to do that before you actually mark it rejected. Now, as well as that, if a patient doesn't adhere to the reminder, you will always be notified of this. So basically, you will be let know if the patient is overdue. So as we've just sent in that order for Linda, I don't actually have an example for that, but I'm going to choose one here. So as you can see here, Simon Zebo is overdue by 3 weeks, 6 days. He's overdue. So I do have a bit of an example for you guys. And this is up to yourselves if you want to use it, or you can, of course, manage your own kind of escalation and how you would manage that. But what we would suggest from here is that if a patient is overdue by 4 hours, you will view it as an orange overdue status. You can send out a manual reminder, ask them, why they haven't or would they like to. Maybe the next day, if they still haven't, you can send out another manual reminder. At this stage, the overdue will be in red. If you haven't heard anything within 2 days, it will still be in red, and at this stage, you can go ahead and call the patient if you like. But you will always be made aware of the fact that the patient actually hasn't adhered to the refill reminder request. So moving on from this, guys, I'm just basically going to talk a bit about how the patient can update their RX. So as you can see here, this is the message that I sent out to Linda previously. The order has been received. And you can go in and you can view that. and it's always going to be in yellow. It's highlighted in yellow. So again, guys, I'm going to talk about how the patient can update their RX. So we can go in here and they click on the order that they've sent in. From here, as you can see, all the information for their order is here. So basically, they can click on update. So maybe Linda wants to change from picking up in store. Maybe Linda wants it delivered. So we're going to click on that. That updates. It's been a success. So what we can do from here is you can see that it's been updated. You can just go in and have a look. And you can see that now that Linda wants it delivered rather than collected. And if you guys want, maybe Linda wanted to, maybe you can just confirm with Linda that that's been changed. So you can send out a message to Linda again by clicking on message directly to patient and add in update received. And send the message out to Linda. Okay, so as well as that, I want to just show you how you guys in the pharmacy can communicate with each other and how you can speak with each other internally regarding any orders that have been placed. So I'm going to click on Linda here again. And down here, we're going to add a message. This time we're not going to send anything to Linda, we're going to have it as an internal note. So maybe you receive the order and the payment has been placed, and you just want to make sure that, you know, whoever is coming in after you, or maybe you're leaving for the day, maybe the compound hasn't been created, you can add in a note. Please make compound, and you can leave that as an internal message. So we're going to save that. And you can see here that that's been saved straight away. Please make compound. Now, as well as that, guys, I just want to kind of make you aware as well that everything is logged. So everything that has been done within the order, anything that has been placed, anything at all that has been done within the order is all here in the order history. So everything is tracked and everything is very easy for you guys to see. Okay? So shortly we're going to take some questions. But before that, I just want to kind of make you guys aware that the internal messages, the broadcast messaging that you can send out, they're sent out every 50. They're kind of on a time loop, so they're sent out every 15 minutes. You can relay anything you want within this message. They'll be sent out to every patient who has downloaded the app if they have opted in to receive marketing messages from you. So maybe you guys have, you know, some special offer on vitamins, maybe you have a snow day, maybe anything at all, maybe an event within the pharmacy. You can relay that to every patient that you have who has downloaded the app and who has opted in for some marketing messages. So that brings me to the end of this. I'm going to take some questions now. So if you just bear with me one moment.
So we just have a question in from Sean. How do we update to the newest version of the app? How do we use the news feed for mass marketing? So thanks, Sean. I'm just going to bring the microphone over to me a little bit closer to answer those questions for you. So basically, the couple of things. The app actually updates automatically for the patient and yourself. It depends completely on the settings on your device. Most default settings are actually set to automatic update, and that means that the iPhone or the Android device will just update whatever the settings are on the device. It could be overnight, it could be when it's connected to power, so it'll happen automatically. If you have set up a manual update, then it occurs manually, but we've already put the update through to the App Store for everybody, so that'll occur automatically. The second part of the question relates to the news feed for mass marketing. So this occurs here, and if I just show you, we click here onto the messaging module here, and pretty simply you add on a message here like this, and you put in a name, whatever it's going to be. It could be a compounding demo, a compounding event by Dr. Evans, and whatever other detail, and then www. Maybe you've got a link that you want them to go to, dot whatever it's going to be. And once you send that, press the OK button here. That's it. It's gone. We queue it up in the back of our system, and it'll get sent then on a queue basis to into the app. App doesn't need to be open. It will just appear here in the push messaging up here in this area up here. So that's where it'll actually appear in the push notification. Maybe before the end of this, the actual alert will come through and I'll actually see it. So I hope that answered your question, Sean. So second question came in from Nathan. Nathan, is the credit system in this the new credit card software PK is going with? Nathan, my apologies, that's outside of my remit. I'm not sure that I fully understand the question. I can follow up with you afterwards. The payment methodology doesn't use credit cards in terms of we don't affect the credit card transaction via the app. That would have to occur through your payment gateway processor. It's just the app actually just indicates to you that the patient should use the card that's on file. I hope I've answered that. If not, I'll come back to you after this event. Another question came in from Katie. Has there been an FAQ, so a frequently asked questions, put together with differences of Android to Apple? Good question, Katie. Really, in terms of the functionality of the app, there are no major differences. I mean, there are no differences in actual fact between how the app operates on the Apple platform versus the Android devices. There are interface differences, though, in terms of how alerts are previewed. So alert push messages are previewed, and also how the app gets updated, and also the back and forward buttons. On the iPhone, for example, you use the physical button a lot of the time to move between, say, apps. Like I just pressed it here on my device, and if I want to pick up the Dr. Aziz app, then I press on it. Whereas the Android device looks different. But from an actual functionality point of view, there is no difference between the Android and iPhone apps using RX Mobility. But good question, and thank you. So here's another question. So Danielle has asked, patients are saying they're not getting their medication dose reminders. Where in the app can we tell them to go fix that? So if it's a medication, if it's a refill, is it a refill reminder, Danielle? You just might say yes or no in the box, or is it an actual dose reminder? So it's a refill reminder. Okay, so let me just show you what that is. So there is a couple of ways that can be influenced. I'm just going to open up a script here. So if I just press the top button, the refill button, it asks me for my PIN. I entered the PIN. And let me just look at one of these, for example. There's a patient here called David Brooks at the top. David Brooks has a refill that's due on March 25th. Where David actually changes that, if I just open that, I can view it by pressing the I button. It'll retrieve the order. And I can press the update button on the bottom left-hand side. Once I do that, it retrieves the order details. And then I can actually see that the next refill is due in here. And that's where it is. So that actual end must be entered. You can see the next refill due April 15th. And if I want to change that, then let's say it goes from 28 days in that instance to, for the sake of argument, I'm going to bring it down to 15 days. So 15 days, then that is it. That's updated. And then the updated order will be changed to, in this case, March 23rd. I get an alert to say it's okay, and I press yes. Now what happens is that actual information comes through on the back end of RX Mobility here, and we should be able to see a David Brooks has sent through an updated order somewhere along in here. There's a David Brooks there. It looks like this is the one here. And I just click on that, and I'm suspecting that's the one, 23rd of March, and he just actually changed it there. Scroll down here, and you can see that if I click on the See Changes here, so at 11:24 a.m., David Brooks updated the order. I click on the See Changes, and I can see that he's actually been changing a couple of things. He's changed the insurance company from Company C to Company A. He's changed his pharmacy name from 2234 to location 1, and he's changed his refill frequency from 28 to 15. So that's this is just a dummy patient. It's not a real patient, but it gives you an idea of the type of information that you can have. All right, Danielle, thank you. Any other questions from anybody that we can answer for you? I think that's probably it. If there's no more questions, we can sign up, and I think that's it. I think there's no more further questions. So thank you very much for your time, much appreciated, and looking forward to the next webinar. Thank you.